here you are in a familiar position heading into the playoffs. How much do you think you have changed as a coach and a person over the last year since you were standing this year?
I think that's a loaded question. Needs maybe a lot more time. But for sure, I think everyone has grown, right? You have to face a bit of adversity to see what you can battle through and fight the demons and come out on the other side. And I think as a staff, as players, we've all been through this adversity, from January to find ourselves now to fight for something that's greater than each and every individual one of us. We kind of sacrificed a lot, and I don't speak about sacrifice. I speak about, if you have to call it a sacrifice, it means somebody's forcing you to do something, right? I think we all love to do what we do, and I think we all enjoy the process right now. So, for us to give willingly whatever we've gone to great lengths to get where we are and to earn ourselves in a position where we are, I have credit to everybody. It's been a good journey. It's been a long journey, but how I feel this year has gone, the guys, how I feel this week has gone, the guys are very hungry for more.
Is there anything away from your experiences that Greek soccer physically, and obviously a different format than in most places? Is there anything in the approach that you take away from that, given your experience with it?
No, I mean, I said it the other day, I'd do a disservice now planning for 3 games as opposed to just being planning for one every match day for 34 match days, right? So for me, the sort of core principle stays the same. For sure, you have an eye on 3 games, or for us, it's 2 games. We want to make sure we've been good on the road, we've been good at home. So, we want to make sure that we get off on the right foot at home, and set the tone very early on. And we'll take it from there. But we don't want to, go back in the history books or whatever it is. It's a clean slate now. It's 3 games, and it starts with 1. And every one has to be dialed in from the very get-go.
You did 3 games in the first round there for that, knowing that every game after the first round is just a one-off. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Back in the day, I think it was the first seed gets a bye and joins in the semis, right? Something like that.
It's changed a lot.
It's always back and forth, and I always forget what the format was a year ago, 3 years ago. So it is what it is now, and we can't change that. What I think it should be, or what what should the first place be? Is it really an advantage to play a team who scrapes in 9th or what? I don't know. That's for others to decide, but I'm proud of that. We've earned a home ground advantage, and we have to find the reset buttons and go again.
Last week, as Charlotte was kind of two-sided, that motivation of the points record. So how do you now, as the 1 seed, there's a lot more expectation, more teams are gunning for you guys.
Yeah.
As the hunted.
Yeah.
How do you keep that hunter?
Yeah, we train like the 2 seed. We train like we want to still be something, achieve something, that we've earned the right. It's my job in training to find ways to change the narrative a little bit, to change complacency. And I'm not saying our boys have found a way to be complacent. No ways. We've kept it competitive. We've guys this week, I wish you would be at training days just to see the level of urgency, the competition, the feistiness. It's just who we are and what we do. We do it to each other Monday through Friday, and we've shown we can do it to the opponent as well on Saturday or a Sunday. So, for us, it's been business as usual, and that's what makes this team special, because there's no days where we've taken our foot off the gas. Where we've been in. We've been in most games, take the Vancouver game out of it, where, we've had a chance. I even think 2-0 last week in Charlotte, the second half was some of our best soccer we've played all season, and getting like top 3, assists or whatever it is, like all the data points, we were in the top 3. We looked in mid-year, against Chicago in May or in August again. So we had some really good data points then, and we've been playing good soccer throughout the whole year. And I think we just have to now relay that into a playoff game. Yeah, in those 5, they've changed to a back 5 system, and then they go back to a 4 in the match on Wednesday. So again, the more you focus on somebody else, it means you're taking less, about what you can impact and influence. So we like to think about us and our environment and how we can impact change. And that's why I work in principles mostly. And for sure, there's tactical nuances about that. If they were in a 5 or a 4, but the principles don't change. And, you know, we're a principle focused team. And so we're excited to go at it. You know, I think the guys have been, you know, driving from January to make sure that they get themselves into the spot. Now we're in the spot. Let's go out and enjoy it. We have silverware already this season, so let's go and do it, you know, free.
I'm involved in this year, with the first 2 games in the series. What do you expect his role to be in all of this? Because it was a decision that was made by everybody involved to have.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Kevin knew that we're a little bit thin right now. You know, he came up to us, and it was a good group discussion with Ernst, myself, and Kevin. And yeah, he threw the idea in there. And knowing that Rafa was out a certain time, and knowing that we're a pretty thin group right now. And yeah, we decided, you know, with good cooperation with US Soccer, that he would stay for these 2 games. But yeah, credit to him. He wants to be around the group. He wants to give something. And even although his minutes were limited or have been limited, you know, and I think he's contributed in big ways, even although limited minutes. So it's continuation of his development, his pathway, you know. So, but there's no guarantees that he's automatically going to start the next game now, right? He's not. That's not the role that he's found himself in, and he's still building up towards something. So, but he did have a very good 35 minutes last week. Yeah. It's the end of the season, right? So that's the test of every team right now is how deep can they go and how much can they push. So everybody's feeling a bit of something. And I'm sure if you ask across the board now of these playoff teams, you know, have they got a clean bill of health? And everyone will say no. Like you just have to maintain it the best way possible. And that's what makes it special, because you've pushed so long, so many months, and you're at the business end of the year now. And now it's about mentality. Now it's about desire. And that's what I've seen from my group right now, is a lot of mentality to do it at all costs. There are, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Rafa got cleared. He's training with us. Indy's clear. He's training with us. Yeah, it's all good.
Of the last against Chicago, what do you take away from that in terms of the way you guys approach that game? Is that recent enough to be able to draw some conclusions about, you know, some things to target in the game?
Yeah, sure. Like I said, they've changed formations. They've changed a lot of different things. They've matched up to the opponent. So, you know, what they don't change is the quality in their group, and their front 3 are excellent soccer players. And every week we come up against last week it was Zaha, you know, and company. You know, this week it's going to be Zinkernagel, Bamba, and Kuipers. You know, that's and nothing's changed throughout the whole season. And that's the beauty and the parity of the league, that every team has, you know, 2 DPs or whatever it is, and they're all have the quality to expose you in transition. So, I mean, we're going to have to keep that at a minimum. And they plug up a lot of good spaces, right? So we have to make sure that we fluid, quick, and make sure we have a good attacking balance against the ball, and vice versa as well. So, again, it's a soccer game. It's a playoff game. There's things on the line, which, you know, creates a nice bit of tension. It creates a nice bit of, you know, especially when we have the first one at home, we have to make that sort of advantage count.
On the veteran down during the Shield celebration, we're focused on home field advantage. There's some scar tissue there from previous problems in MLS Cup.
Yeah.
How much from an emotional standpoint have you seen guys like Jacob, Dre,
Yeah.
Alan, they really want this one, and they
Yeah.
really know how much the home field advantage. What have you seen from the veteran guys this week about and focusing?
Yeah, it hasn't been about this week. I think you start thinking about the playoffs from, you know, your first day in training in January, right? I think that's all we've been speaking about as a staff, as players. You know, now that we win the Supporter Shield, I can tell you our target was top 4, was a home playoff. You know, we wanted, I think it was 55, 58 points. I think the target was for the boys. You know, that's, you know, and that's thinking big picture. And you have a big picture, break it down into small cycles. And that's the way you go about, you know, building the puzzle, I would say. But yeah, we've just managed to find ways to cut segments out and make sure we drive for certain things. And it's my job to push it every day, and not just think about down the line. But here we are. And they've been leaders from the very beginning, and that's earned them clean sheets. It's earned them all-star appearances. It's earned them best defensive record in the league. There's so many good things about what makes a championship team, and I think we've done it all, right? And now we just have to show it on a game that really means something.
Have Kai and Jacob, and you're yourself.
Yeah.
For the year, what does that mean to see that not just one, but two of these guys? There's 3 finals.
Sure, and I think about the 3 U22 guys as well, right? I mean, and there's been so many big contributions. Obviously we have the best clean sheet record in the league, but we split it up. Yeah, I think it's 8 and 6, 8 with Andre and 6 with Rick. So I just see a combination throughout everything we do, and it's a collective approach, because all of that is only because Bruno, Mika, Ty, the way they defend and keep it compact and keep it connected. And, so they're the main ones who start that and initiate our defensive shape, right? So I think it's not just those guys. And those guys are too humble and honest to know that it's just not about them. It's about the whole group as well.
And they will sometimes say the same thing about yourself, that you have the recognition from your peers for being a finalist.
Listen, I told you, like, I'm so grateful to be in this community, like the soccer community in the States. It's been 8 years now, and just growing and pursuing what I love to do. And what I love to do is my job, and help players develop. And I think, finding an address like the union to continue development, to continue my journey, to help and develop players. And I've always spoken about the Macanyas and the Westfields. These stories are like the unicorn stories, right? Who has their first year, then reps the U20 at a World Cup, who has a really good season at Union 2 and then steps up in the very following year and has an automatic great year in the league as well. So, and again, I'm just grateful to be part of this journey, and almost, I'm not looking for acceptance, but just being part of a coaches union here, a coaches group that we look out for each other. And we're competitive, but we also, have a lot of compassion for each other, because we know what sort of job this is. We're the first ones, when people are talking good things, and we're the first ones when it doesn't really go your way this year, right? So, and I've experienced both in a short span of time. So yeah, it's just part of the next part of the journey.
All right. Any final questions? All right. Thanks, Bradley. Thanks, everyone.